So, what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is the Ryan here.
And today we once again have another interesting video for you all. Now, recently there's been a lot of discussion over the colours of the text in all of the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 minigames, and the Reddit community has actually found a few secrets which may lead to the puppet being discovered in Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
Yes, more specifically, Reddit user Nick's Mundane Life has actually found something quite interesting, and Dorko's Games and Razbowski has already covered this topic, but we think we found something that people may have actually missed.
Yes, now, before we actually jump into this theory, it's worth knowing that Scott actually messaged the whole Five Nights at Freddy's community on Steam, basically saying that all of the information in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is at our grasp. So there's not many things hidden in terms of Easter eggs. All we have to do is look at the game and analyze it very carefully, and since then, the community has been trying very hard to piece together the mystery of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 and its overall story.
Yes, the story is pretty much in front of us. Like Scott said, we're too busy looking for Easter eggs rather than concentrating on the actual story itself.
And since Scott actually said this, as we've said before, there's been some really startling discoveries, and we're actually going to be talking about the puppet text. So we'll start by actually comparing Night 1 puppet text with the Night 6 puppets text, and there's actually some colour differences which is very interesting of Scott to do.
Yes, on Night 1 we can see that this text is very golden, it's very vibrant yellow, but near the end of Night 6, when the puppet when this supposedly puppet actually says, "I will put you back together," you can see it's a lot lighter and much more faded than the actual Fredbear text.
Absolutely, yeah, and we have to really remember here, guys, that Scott is known for these very small differences, and it's taken us quite some time to actually discover this, and wow, Scott wouldn't really do this by chance, would he? I mean, he's kept the animatronics looking the same, that is, the toy plushies in the corner of the bedroom, and then all of a sudden this text is clearly different, and there's actually something further which links this different coloured text to the toy plushie, and actually might hint towards the puppet maybe possessing it.
So yeah, if we look carefully in Night 1, we can see that this golden Fredbear plushie actually doesn't have any illuminated eyes, and this is when the text is actually yellow. Now, if we actually skip ahead to Night 6, where the puppet says, "I'll put you back together," the eyes are illuminated.
Absolutely, it's very interesting why this is happening. It almost hints towards maybe some form of possession, and me and other Ryan actually discussed the possibility of when this plushie's text is actually this yellow colour, it could be just the child's imagination of maybe this toy plushie actually talking to him.
Yes, definitely.
And that is actually backed up by the blank eyes, as we've said before. It's very interesting, and the colour seems to very much so mimic the colour of the toy plushie, whereas the colour of the text in Night 6 mimics more closely to the colour of the puppet's face in Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Yes, and if we think back through all the Five Nights at Freddy's games, we know that these illuminated eyes are directly connected to the puppet.
Yes, exactly. He was known for his vibrant white eyes in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I don't really think this can be much of a fluke, because a lot of people were expecting to see the puppet in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, and with this discovery, it only makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Now, the final piece of evidence is actually the text that's said by the puppet in Night 6 of Five Nights at Freddy's 4. He actually states that he will put the crying child back together. Now, we have to think back to Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and in one of the minigames in particular, the Help Them Save Them minigame.
Yes, in this minigame, we see the puppet giving gifts and then giving life to these animatronics, and then at the very end, the very last frame before we're jump scared by the golden Freddy, we actually see this fifth dead body in the middle.
Yes, and this could actually be referencing this crying child right here, because we have actually covered the concept of why this child is actually Golden Freddy, and why we are playing as this child, and it all but makes sense, really. I mean, the links are starting to really connect now, and Scott wasn't lying when he actually said all of the mysteries in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 are right in front of our eyes. We just need to look for them.
Yeah, I think that we've looked past these mini games and these games in general. I mean, obviously, Scott is known infamously for his Easter eggs in the game, such as Shadow Bonnie, Shadow Freddy, and I think that we were looking too hard for Five Nights at Freddy's 4 for these Easter eggs to give a massive kind of, hint to who the purple guy is or something like that. I think we were more focused on who this purple guy is rather than, the story in general, so I'm glad that he's actually wrapped it all up.
Yeah, absolutely, and as he said before, we've got to look at not the Easter eggs, i.e. the things that we have to discover, but just the things that are popping up on screen, because he's not lying, as I've said before. This text will always pop up when someone beats this Night 6, and it's not really an Easter egg because everyone has actually seen it, but we just have to look a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And there we have it, guys. So hopefully you did enjoy this discussion, talking about the colours of the text and whether or not this could actually be linked to the puppet. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, and be sure to comment down below any of your thoughts in relation to this topic.
And if you guys did enjoy this video, why not leave a like rating, as it's much appreciated, and if you're new to our channel, why not subscribe for more interesting videos like this and also some gameplays.
So thank you very much for watching the video, guys. We do hope you did enjoy, and we'll of course see you on the next one.
Goodbye, guys.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?